Hi, this is Dominic and welcome to another episode of Console Wars. So in this episode we're going to discuss this Metro article, as you can see in the bottom left. Let me switch over to it, which talks about Assassin's Creed Valhalla will only be 30 frames per second at 4K on Xbox. So as you can see, let's read what they have to say. Microsoft has promised that all Xbox Series X games will run at 60 frames per second. Seems to have lasted less than a week, as Ubisoft suggests otherwise. Only yesterday we ran a story about Microsoft stating that the Xbox Series X will play games at 60 frames per second as the standard output, something which many fans were immediately doubtful of, and I'm sure other Xbox fans were probably excited about, because everybody wants everything to run at 60 frames per second. Let's continue on this next bit. It seems they were right to be, as well, as Ubisoft has stated that Assassin's Creed Valhalla will only run at least 30 frames per second, which isn't the same thing at all. Now, I was one of the skeptical people. So do you think that Microsoft is overhyping? I also don't understand how they can guarantee 60 frames per second unless you lower the resolution or complexity of environments, and or you dumb down the physics or the artificial intelligence, the AI. Game dev is always about compromises and trade-offs. That's the nature of trying to get the best out of any system. So I think that it will be a while before we see that sort of level. Also, with 4K ray traced games, I think 60 frames per second will be very, very rare. I'm talking about this from the perspective of having worked in doing some game dev many years ago, so maybe I'm out of touch. That's definitely a possibility. But in my experience as a software developer, it's very rare to be able to hit those targets when a new system comes out. It's because you have to, everything scales up. So, but that doesn't automatically mean you automatically hit 60 frames per second. So, one sec, lost my notes here. I think that the most likely scenario is we'll see 60 frames per second in the mid-gen refresh. That would be the most logical place to have it, because then we'll have more power. The game devs will be used to the hardware, and they'll be able to really tweak things to get the most out of the updated specs. So I don't think that we'll get to that holy grail of 60 frames per second until mid-gen. And this applies to both Microsoft Xbox and Sony's PlayStation. Both of these are not going to miraculously just give us massive frames per second just because they're more powerful. Remember, everything is bigger. The resolution's higher. The assets are going to be more detailed, which is what we want, because we love our eye candy. But again, as I mentioned before, there are trade-offs, always trade-offs. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's basically all I wanted to say on that. So if you like what you're seeing, then like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Join me tomorrow when I'll be streaming the State of Play, which Sony have announced will be tomorrow, which is going to be mainly focused on Ghost of Tsushima. Bye for now.